Mic check, mic check. Welcome everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Everything House Music. Our guest is here. Amazing guest, Clara Hill is here. And she's graced us on Everything House Music this weekend. I mean this week. This week is not the weekend yet. Excuse me for that. Let me just check our guest mic. Clara, good
Hello.
evening.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Perfect. Super.
How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm perfect. I'm perfect. I'm so thrilled. I mean, I've been happy for the past week now since we knew that we're gonna be hosting you and everything house music. So I'm perfect.
Cool. Sounds good.
How's your week been? I mean, it's already Tuesday, but how's your week been in SA?
Oh, actually, very quiet. You mean since yesterday? Monday, Tuesday? Oh, no, I was just relaxing because I was a little bit, um, I had some, I don't know, some healthy issues maybe. So I was just relaxing and I'm refilling my batteries for the next weekend. So I was
Of
just relaxing and stayed in bed, actually.
uh, but are you feeling way better now? I mean,
Yes,
we
I'm
didn't give you anything bad, right?
I'm totally great now. I'm better.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Uh, is it not like maybe perhaps the South African bug has got you and we want you to stay here forever, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm
No,
in a
I think that would
transformation right
work.
now.
I think that would completely work. Thank you so much again for accepting our invite to Everything House Music.
Sure.
So before I just go too far, I wanted to explain who we are and where we come from and what we actually do on an Everything House Music on Twitter Spaces. We've been doing this for the past 2 years. I think it's two years and perhaps 6 months or so. And we invite prominent people, guests, musicians in the house music scene to have a chat with them regarding their careers, regarding their life, most
Mhm,
importantly, the music, of course. And that's why the show itself is called Everything House Music. So it's
mhm,
everyone literally who's been in the spectrum of house music, we bring them on. We've had a couple of international guests, and we've added you today. So that's a beautiful pleasure. And we've also had a couple of amazing local acts. I mean, we haven't had Ralph Gum, in fact, on Everything House Music, but we've had him on the Deep House Space, which we do on Fridays. So that's
mhm.
us, and we sit here, we talk about your life, we talk about your music. We gladly give the listeners the mic also. Perhaps if they'd like to ask you something,
Mhm.
they would like to perhaps give you some flowers
Yeah.
regarding your wonderful career. And we also play some music. So our DJ is not here yet,
Mhm.
but we also play some of the music just so we can relax and not just badger you with questions.
Okay, that sounds great. Cool.
Y-
That sounds
Yeah,
nice.
so that's us. Thank you again. Thank you again for making time for us.
You're welcome. My
Where
pleasure.
I'd like us to start, and I'm so happy that even Ralph is here. Malumu Kumete, that's what they call him. We
Mhm.
call him Kumete in SA. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Wolfgang. You are currently on a tour, on an amazing tour, in fact, with Wolfgang himself, alongside Gogo Music. uh,
Mhm.
as he as he does the as he does his workshop.
Yeah.
Um, he's done it. He's doing it again this year. I actually missed it last year when he was here in Cape Town, and he's taking it to other cities, other towns that he didn't take it last year.
Mhm.
How has the tour been so
Mhm.
far? Just going around the townships of SA and meeting people that love you, meeting people that love your music, and
Yeah.
just also performing. So how's that all been in the last 2 weeks or so? Thank you.
Amazing. I have to say it's amazing. It's a totally A cool experience I have, and all we have, I think, because it's um, for me personally, it is a great experience because last year when I was invited here for the workshop, also one day, I never did a workshop before in my life, so it's a totally new experience, and I have to say I love it. I love to share. The knowledge which I have, and also I do it with Ralph together. The knowledge he has, of course, it's so lovely to give this further to the people, to younger people, to older people, everybody who wants to know, um, to share, to let the people know what yeah through the spoken word, not through the music, what we do and how we do, also some technical aspects. It's lovely to share, and I'm learning also a lot from other speakers, and I'm learning also many things from the fans. And beside that, I'm overwhelmed by the love I got from the people. That's really, really amazing. I'm overwhelmed. I'm so thankful for that. Yeah, it's been very nice.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I think a lot of people perhaps would also be seeing you and hearing you for the very first time and seeing you perform also. I guess that's a wonderful spectacle on its own. So we thank you so much for coming to our shows and spending, I mean, you're spending so much time just teaching us about your music
Yeah.
and also performing so we can see you live because a lot of
Yes.
people have never. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't myself too.
It's amazing, that, and I've never been to townships. This is such a great experience. I remember when I was here the first time. Hold on, it was 2014. I was in Johannesburg the first time, but just a short moment I was here, and I was on the border of seeing Soweto, and I don't know why I had this idea. I thought, okay, I have to perform there actually. How it would be to perform or to give music to people in the township. And here we are, here I am, 2023. Um, it's possible. It's so different, It's like, I don't know. It's different. I don't know. The how you say, the excitement from the people, and my excitement, and it's a very good mixture, and yeah, the passion the people show, it's really lovely. It's deep. I like that.
We are very fond of dance music in SA. I think you've seen that as you've been touring, and we are very fond of vocal house music also. I mean,
Hmm.
you're a wonderful singer and performer. So when we hear certain words, they literally stick to us, honestly. And perhaps you've even seen that as you perform, there's people that have been singing along to you. There's people that have been chanting the same lyrics that you are singing. Um, excuse me. How has that interaction been for you? As you've mentioned, I mean, you've never even been to a township, but how is that interaction, being as close to fans, being as close to people that have listened to your music perhaps for the past 20 plus years? How has that interaction, the close interaction, been for you? Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. This is actually maybe I'm repeating myself. The close interaction is exactly that. What was so lovely, overwhelming, warm. I had some conversations with people. I give a lot of autographs, selfies, of course. That's lovely, and it's like specifically. Um, I can feel what you say. I can feel that some people, they came to me and said, I never would think about that. I would see you live. And wow, this is amazing when you hear that, of course, and as an artist. And um, it's also amazing for artists when you have, as you say, these interaction directly when you perform, and you have the people who can sing your lyrics, and they're with you. You're there's a real connection, and so much passion. I don't know, it's really overwhelming. I just can't repeat myself, because this is, this is what you're working for, that you get the fruits from the tree you planted many years before. I mean, I've had a lot of concerts worldwide, and but South Africa, especially right now, for me, it's very special. I had a few other gigs in the past where I would say, okay, it was lovely, unforgettable experiences, but here there's something different. Yes, it is pretty cool. Yes, definitely. Um, when the people are happy, it's making me also happy. And then you have a positive spiral, it's like an energizing thing. That's so lovely. And especially um, for people who are so thankful and say, we are so thankful that you're here in the township and that you're performing, because, yeah, I just can say I'm also happy. I'm also happy. And yeah, it's lovely. It's wonderful.
No, beautiful to hear. That's wonderful to hear. You mentioned that you've never been a part of a workshop,
Mhm.
and Ralph is doing it, and I think Ralph is doing it so amazingly.
Yes,
He needs to be getting some props for that. Uh,
definitely.
the importance of these workshops. What have you seen? I mean, I think in the past 2 weeks or so, you'll have just only had a couple, but the
Mhm.
importance of these workshops and these interactions as
Mhm.
an artist, as someone who's a stakeholder in the music industry. Um, what importance do you think uh, these these workshops need and these workshops play in the music industry itself? Thank you.
Mhm. Um, as first of all, it is of course the sharing, no? The sharing of knowledge, um, to express what is happening with you as an artist when you're writing music. As I'm speaking about vocal writing, vocal recordings, other people speaking about other things. Um, it is important to show what's going on behind a track, what's going on behind the music, what are the technical parts, or what are the parts, just what is happening until a song, a product get finished. It's so good to let the people to let the people see what's going on, because it's a work, and it's nice to share that they can learn and also can make the music. This is the people they're coming for. They are producers, young writers, DJs, and they all want to know what's going on, how they can improve, how they can learn. And it's so lovely that we can share that, to share the knowledge we have. um, Sir LSG is there, of course, and Christos, Ralph. Anyway, this is like a little family who gives the kids some informations. It's really, really lovely. I mean, they're not just only kids, they're also adult people. But yeah, for me, it is a totally new experience, because I'm just singing normally. I'm go on stage and I never speak. So in here you can speak, plus you receive amazingly questions from the people. Um, this is what I have to say. I have to give the compliments to the people. They have so lovely questions, profound, deep, intelligent questions. Um, yeah, so this is a mirror for the people, that they understand you, or they want to understand you, that they want to learn, that they're seeking for knowledge, for informations. And yeah, this is amazing for me personally. As I told you before, it's a new experience, and I would love to continue this with this, because it's another form of expression in the music. Yeah, I think that's it. I would like to say for now.
Now, it is a beautiful form of sharing music and sharing musical knowledge. It's a wonderful one indeed. We do have a couple of other workshops that are done in the dance music scene in SA by the likes of DJ Christos, who also mentioned, who's also a part of the workshop that Ralph is doing.
Mm-hmm.
From an artist point of view, from an artist background, from an artist playbook, uh, what do you need and expect from a workshop? I know you say that it's your first time, but now what have you gathered from an artist perspective that this is needed for me as an artist, as a singer, as a songwriter?
You mean what I need from the workshop?
Yes.
That's an interesting question. Um, what I need as an artist from a workshop. Um, I think these questions I would need. Um, and I got this question from the audience. The interest, the interest that people are there and they really feel what you say. Because first we are speaking, we make a monologue, or I do a dialogue with Ralph, but we are speaking. But when we open the room for questions, um, and the question come to us and we can react on this is actually what I think, what is good for an artist, and what for me, for the first moment, was this what I was needed to open up myself as well, because yeah, I have some things what I want to tell and do this, but as soon as the mic is open for the people and they come and they ask, then it's like a communication with the people directly as well. And this is what I need. And these lovely questions, this is what I need as well to answer in a good way. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I just can say that I was surprised how cool questions came from the people. It was last year as well. I was really like, wow. There were women, boys, men, anything, and they had good questions, really deep, amazing.
Now, I'm glad you're having a good time. I think that's also important. I mean, attending any kind of event as a musician and giving back to the community as a whole.
Yeah,
It's probably one of the most important things as an artist, as a musician. I mean,
yeah,
you're giving back to the people that have supported you for the longest of time, people that have
exactly.
bought your music,
Yeah.
people that are booking you.
Mm.
Um, the giving back part, I think that's the most important
Yes.
aspect of being just a
Yes.
creative, because most of us are in the art industry.
Hmm.
So we thank you for coming down. I was sad that Rolf didn't pick Cape Town this time around.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the Western Cape, so I
I,
literally I can't come and see you.
yeah.
It would have been really really nice if Ralph
Yes.
picked Cape Town again, but he didn't this time
Yeah.
around.
I mean, I hope that we continue this. I mean, this is also by the support with the embassy, that made it possible, and Gogo and everything. So I hope also that we continue next year and make more cities, um, and maybe also for Cape Town. But they did Cape Town before, isn't it right?
Yes,
Well,
he did it last year.
yes. But anyway, I mean, you have new people coming up, and maybe a bigger audience would like to know about the workshop, because it's a young baby right now. It's young children, so it can grow, and you can. I guess it's not possible. It's not impossible to go twice or three times to the same city. To get other people, to catch other people, new people coming to the workshop. So maybe we will meet in Cape Town.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was hoping perhaps he'll come down for the Daisies and maybe come and perform at Rocking the Daisies. Um, But yes, when you come down here again, I'll definitely be there.
Very cool.
Um, seeing that in terms of time, I just wanted to clarify with you. Can we just do this for an hour? I don't want to keep you too long.
Hmm.
I don't want to keep your voice talking and then now over the weekend, then you can't perform again, and it's because of how long our interview was. So
Yeah,
is an hour okay with you?
totally fine.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much. I want us to track it back. I want us to track it back.
Hmm.
You've been around. I mean, music as a whole for a long time. For a long
Hmm.
time. I mean, if you take it back to the early 90s, when
Hmm.
you're playing the piano, um, in your teens,
Yes.
did you ever envision the artist that you are today? I mean, at the time when you
Mhm.
started, what were your plans as a musician or as
Mm.
a creative? What were your dreams at the time when you were a
Mm.
teenager and just starting playing the piano?
Very good question. Um, Somehow, deep down, I vision myself to be a musician, to be honest. Um, Maybe not when I started to play piano. This was just the fascination for the sound and for the music itself, because I grew up in a family, a lot of music, surrounded by music. I was always surrounded by music, and music was always fascinating me. And when I played the piano, it was just the fascination for the piano, and also I started to make own compositions. But uh, later, when I copied other singers, um, I had the idea, or it was actually the dream, let's say a dream, because I grew up in the GDR and the borders were closed. I could not go out, just only into the East countries. I I saw myself, or I dreamed one day I would love to be in New York and sing, or one day I would love to be on a big stage. But these were like vague dreams, but they were dreams, and somehow it came true. But I have to say also, I could travel around the world because the wall came down, in '89. When I was a kid, I was very young at that time, but if this would not have happened, I think, yeah, I don't know what I would have done then. Maybe, I mean, I'm also a graphic designer. Maybe I would just be only a graphic designer and not a musician. I don't know. But the fact that the wall came down '89 was also a big thing. Uh, Door open that I could be the musician which I am now. Yes.
The wonderful and an amazing musician that you are
Thank you.
now. I guess
Thank you.
over the years you went on and formed Superjuice, right? A local acid jazz duo.
Wow.
Um, could you
Mhm.
take us back to those days? I mean, how was that? I mean, how
This
was
is funny. Wow. That's pretty cool, man. I think I never spoke so much about this band, but actually, we had a pretty good time. My boyfriend back in the days when I was 17, he was a jazz pianist, and he was playing in a band, in a jazz band. And I went to the rehearsal rooms, and there was a trio, and I started to sing, I did some improvisations, and one day he said, "Hey man, it sounds lovely." And I always wanted to make other music, and at that time we were listening to a lot of Jamiroquai, I have to say, and also hip hop and all that thing, and all this music you hear when you're 17, soul and funk as well. And say, actually, it would be cool to found an own band. And this is what we did. We founded this band called Superjuice, and we started to compose songs. He on a piano, I was singing, and I was writing lyrics. And then we thought, okay, we need some drums, a good drummer, and a bassist and guitarist. So we did some, how you say, inserations in the newspapers, and then we were casting other musicians. And then the band was then complete after a month or two. And then, yeah, it was actually pretty cool. Everything went very fast. We got a lot of songs together, and then we had some little first concerts in Berlin in clubs which doesn't exist anymore, but also on bigger stages. Then there was a very healthy development in this with this band. A lot of rehearsals, more songs, more gigs. We toured around other clubs, and I mean, we were young, of course. I think the band just existed. Hold on, I was 20, yeah, 3 years, 3 or 4 years. And maybe we were not too bad because we were performing in the Barck. This is in the district where I'm still living in Prenzlauer Berg. It was for us in the past kind of big venue with a bigger stage, and for us that was the first time playing on a bigger stage. We were of course very nervous, um, and there was a DJ. The Alexander Barck from Jazzanova was playing there as well. And this was the first time when I had also contact with him, you know. And he was seeing me performing, and obviously he liked also the stuff we did because we played then already a little bit more. Yeah, actually we had some four to the floor beats, a little bit housey, but also jazzy. Also we had some electronic stuff as well, and yeah, so he really liked our stuff, and yeah, the rest is history. But yeah, we were kind of cool, I think. I mean, we liked it at the time. We loved it, what we did, and Alexander Barck liked it too. So he gave me the contact with Jazzanova, and then this path was also opening in this direction. And we won a prize. I remember we won a prize. We were a young band, but we won a talent prize. No, the second place though. But yeah, hey, we had a cool time.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful story. Uh, and I mean, you worked with now famous and astounding the astounding group itself, Jazzanova. You made music with them. I believe you toured with them.
Yeah.
How was that experience now when you look at it? I mean, you were young at the time, and today you've become this blossom flower who's who's made music with so many other people over the years. But you started off with this amazing band,
Yeah.
and today they are famous. They're the best. And today you also stand on your own 2 feet as probably one of the best vocals in dance music.
Wow.
Here in SA, by the
Thanks.
way, in here in SA, we regard you
Wow.
as probably one of the best. So, what did that experience teach you about life and about being an artist, which has led you to SA literally today?
You mean the connection with Jazzanova and the past with Jazzanova?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, it was interesting because you asked me about dreams and vision before. I had hold on, when I met Alexander Barck and I heard what they did. They did remixes at that time. They did not have their own album out yet, and they became quite famous for the remixes, and they were dope. These guys were amazing. They were wow. What we heard was so um, new. The new sounds, avant-garde for that time. These broken stuff. And I heard that, and for me, these guys were kind of big. Wow, we in the little Superjuice band, like a teeny band, and then this big picture of Jazzanova at that time, already was there. And I had the dream, I want to make music with them. And this dream was also like, forget it. It's a dream. It will not come true. But you can't forget it. But I had a lot of requests from other musicians at that time already. Producers who wanted to have my voice for some cheesy pop stuff. And I said, no. Other productions, I said, no. I gave my voices for another background. I was singing background for another band. This was okay because it was a cool band, but there were some bands who were asking me also, and I said no. Why I said no? I don't know why. But at that time, I already said, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I can't sing that because I want to make music with Jazzanova. And for this, I have to be cool. I have to have my own sound. You know, if I would sing for this pop project, I'm done. I had this feeling. I don't know why, but I had this feeling that I can't do these other musics. I can't do that because I want to make music with Jazzanova. And the day came. The day came, you know. When Stefan from Jazzanova called me on the telephone. He said, yeah, we have your track. We don't know, but Alexander Barck, you know, he saw you and we would like to hear your voice. And at that time, Stefan Leisering and Axel Reinemer, also Stefan, he did the most of the music alone and the technical part also. And Axel he mixed most of the songs. They had a duo. They called Extended Spirit also, and they were in the cellar of the house of Stefan. So I came there. I went to there, and we started to make music in this cellar. You know, they liked my voice. They gave me a Patrice Russian song to sing to learn it, and two weeks later I had to come there again into the cellar. I was singing this song, and they say, "Okay, you're in. Let's see what we can do." And these moments, um, were the moments where we started to work on the track No Use. And we'll never forget that time because I was so excited because I felt at that moment, wow, hold on. This song will be on the first Jazzanova album. Wow, wow, wow. So your dream becomes true. And then this album came out and the dream became true. It was for me a very excited time. It was a long time for me, a very excited time. Even after the album came out, I was on that album. Other doors opened for other collaborations, but still for me, Jazzanova were kind of, uh, I don't want to exaggerate, but for me, they were heroes, you know. And I was always very excited if I had the chance to work with them. Um, yeah, it's amazing. It was a very, very intense, positive, intense, and exciting time for me. I learned a lot. I learned so much. I had my first bigger concert gig outside of Germany with Alex in Mailand, you know. And it was lovely. A big, big time for me. I learned a lot. And they opened me a lot of possibilities. They were very kind guys. They are lovely guys. They are all artists. Until today, I have a cool relationship to Axel and Stefan and Alex. I see from time to time, you know. I'm still singing here and then in the Jazzanova live band as well. And if they ask me for vocals, I'm always there, you know. I always say yes because it's like a little family. It became like a family for me. Yeah. A home which let me fly also.
Beautiful, beautiful indeed. And I believe the album actually you're talking about was the album titled Restless Times, right?
My first album, yes.
Yes. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm on point. I'm on point indeed. And then I mean later on, I mean you caught attention from some big heavyweights, the likes of Atjazz, the likes of Vikter Duplaix, who you've gone on and actually made music with too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how has that been for you? Then now coming out of Germany, then
Mm.
meeting all these other international artists that are in the same playing field as you, in the same dance music industry as you, and are literally dying to make music with you. Literally, these people just wanna make music with only you.
Yeah.
How did that feel? And now, I mean, after releasing your album, and now you're great. You're great. You made an album, but now there's these super mega stars that wanna further work with you and make music with you.
Crazy. It was crazy. It was overwhelming. You know, at that time when I even made my first album and then immediately start to make the second one, the All I Can Provide album, um, and this idea was born. Okay, I will not make an album alone or with two or three artists. I would like to invite other producers coming to my album. That's why I said Clara meets Atjazz or Clara meets Vikter. Um, I think, I don't know, at that moment, the constellations, the universe, whatever, the star constellation, whatever, it was the perfect time because the producers were around the pool with Jazzanova, you know. Jazzanova made the first album with Vikter Duplaix. Atjazz was a long friend of them. King Britt was there in the office. You know, Jazzanova, they have also their label Sonar Kollektiv. And I was many times there in the Sonar Kollektiv, having coffee, having talks, conversations. And these stars came and went. They came in and they went. You know, it was amazing. People from all over the world came to Berlin, came into the Sonar Kollektiv office, and I had the opportunity to meet them. But when the Sonar Kollektiv and the Jazzanova guys made the direct contact, and I could ask them, King Britt was asking me actually, but Atjazz and Vikter, they say yes, we want to be there, and I could believe. In the first moment, I couldn't believe that. It was really crazy. It was a little bit at that time. Maybe I was like in trance or something because everything was so fast, you know. Just first album out. Okay, 2 years later, the next album, and it was like wow, the time was flying, and I was in a working trance and sometimes I couldn't believe my luck, which I had, that these people were on that album. I mean, until now, for me, it's hard to really understand that because sometimes I don't see myself like a super singer or I see other singers and I see and I hear other productions and I think they're cool, they're much more, you know, they're much more point. Um, it was like okay, something maybe I have, but I couldn't understand um, why the people were there. They wanted to work with me, and it was overwhelming. And the funny thing with King Britt was, I was speaking last weekend in the workshop already about that. My album, All I Can Provide, was already finished. You know, Atjazz was there, other producers, the Vikter Duplaix. I met him actually in the office, and we made the song together in person. But King Britt. Um, the song I did with him was the last song on the album, and the album was finished. And I did not know at that time, it sounds weird nowadays, that I have an email address from the Sonar Kollektiv. So every artist had an email address. And I never checked these emails. And after the album was made, as all the songs were together, I don't know, I had the idea to check my email account, and there was an email from King Britt. Long time ago. I did not see that email, you know. And he was writing, I want to be on this album. I want to be on that second album. Wow. And I wrote him back and we made the contact and he was sending a song. And I told him, wow, the album's almost done. Yeah, but I have to be on that album, you know. And we did the wrong song then. So Unbelievable. Wow, King Britt is asking me if he can be on my album. So you can imagine I was overwhelmed. Until now, unbelievable. These moments for
No,
me. Yes,
legendary moments
yes.
indeed, which have made who you are today, which have made the amazing human being that you are today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the submission. Okay, the rest of the team is finally got here, Clara. So we have Lloyd, who's also a part of Everything House Music,
Mhm.
as well as Bua the DJ. And we also the collective that hosts the Deep House Space, where we've actually had a chat with Ralph himself.
Mhm.
So I'm going to give them the mic at some point. But my last one for now is 2023 now, right? And Clara is still making music, still performing, and still making waves all around the world.
Mhm.
What do you think, or what do you feel is missing today that you had perhaps 20 years ago when you started, or 20 years ago when you were making music, started making music with the likes of Atjazz, the likes of Vikter,
Mhm.
the likes of Jazzanova? What do you think is missing in today's music world that you'd love perhaps to come back? Thank you.
Wow. Let me think about your question. You mean what is missing in the music world? What exactly do you mean?
I mean, you started off in a passionate time, right?
Mhm.
Where you fell in love with what you were doing. You were
Mhm.
so passionate about it, and perhaps there was easier times to make music and to sell music. Today we have all these digital footprints. We have
Mhm.
all these streaming services, perhaps don't give you as much back. Um, that's why I'm asking, what do you feel is lacking today in today's environment as an
Mhm.
artist,
Okay.
as a
Yeah.
performer? What do you
Yeah.
feel is really missing today that you had perhaps
Yeah.
20 years ago when you started
Okay.
off? Thank you.
Okay. There, I think there are 2 points. Um, First of all, I think in the past, for me personally, making music was not so easy like it is today. With the technical tools we have, I mean, everybody can make music if he wants. You have the applications, you have the programs, you have the technique which is moving so much forward that you are able to sit in your kitchen and you can make music alone without other persons. This in the past for me was not possible. Uh, it was not possible because of the technical side, and it was not possible because I did not have the knowledge. So I was watching a lot of people over the shoulders to learn uh, the programs they use, and I did not even have a microphone. But with the years, I could have my own computer, I could have my own microphone. I had the knowledge. I learned more and more, and I started to make my own music. Nowadays, I can even produce my own music, which is amazing. Still, I believe that the point of collaboration is um, good, because otherwise you're all the time eating your own soup. I don't know if there's another better expression, but I think you understand me. It's good to collaborate with other people, because you have these exchanges of ideas, you exchange energies. um, this is still fine, but the technical fact that you can realize your ideas or sketches, that's definitely easier than in the past. Um, the other side, I would say, um, what maybe a lot of artists say, is we are living now in a time of streamings, free streamings, or not free streamings. I mean, Spotify, you still have to pay money for it, but um, we are not selling CDs anymore, like in the past. Um, Thanks God, the vinyls are popular now again. that I can sell, or other musicians as well can sell vinyls again. But there was a time where I and the musicians around me stopped to earn money because of the time changing, because everything collapsed. The distributions were collapsing. Yeah, it was a very strange time. So this is, I would say, this is what I would miss now. That, I mean, as an artist touring not too much, I don't earn so much money anymore. I mean, I never earned that much money, but it's a fact, because you work for an album, you work for your music, you work hard, you work since years, and it costs you a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears to make an album and to make music, and you don't get the money for it. Like, if you're a baker man, you make your bread, you sell your bread, and you get at least a few cents for a barn, or some dollars for a bread. Maybe the example is not so good, but I think the people understand what I would love to say. It is, you're not earning money anymore, and then you ask yourself in a moment, is it really worth to continue making music? Is it really worth that you I can speak openly about it. Is it worth that you get 2 burnouts because you work so hard to realize your musical career? Is it really worth to do that if you if you're not able to pay your rent? Yeah, that's the truth. I were on that point before. This is what a lot of people, a lot of artists are complaining, that through Spotify you don't earn a lot of money, but your reputation is growing. You can have a lot of followers, you can have a lot of likes and whatever, but at the end, you are a person, even though you're an artist or musician, who works, and for that you have to get money. This is what I'm missing, but after I had that kind of breakdown a few years ago, I have to continue. I started to tell to myself, I have to continue with the music. And so now I go until the end, I will make music until I die, probably, because this is a part of me. This is what I am. And I made the decision to make music, even though I will not earn so much money with it. It sounds hard, I know, but I have to tell you this, because your question was like this, and I wanted to answer in that way.
And thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for being honest, for being honest with us. Thank you so much for giving us more than we ever would have imagined. I mean, I never thought we would ever have a chat with Clara Hill, ever. Nah, never. I mean, when I was listening to Pepper Chase, I think I was in high school when he came out, and when we were banging it. But I never thought we'd have a conversation like this. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. The team is here finally.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'd like to. Yes, we talked at 9:00. We would stop this talk.
We can continue. No problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you to each and every person that's here. As you heard, we are going to continue our talk. It normally ends at 10 p.m., Clara. Just want to clarify that.
Mm-hmm.
So we normally go for 2 hours. In between the chats, we normally play the music. So the DJ has arrived late today, but he's probably going to play some music for us at some point.
Cool.
So for now, I'd like to share the mic with Lloyd. Lloyd, happy Tuesday. Please unmute your mic.
Hola. Happy Tuesday, guys. Hi, Clara. Hi, Buga.
Hi, Lloyd.
The stress about joining the space so late is because I wouldn't know what you have answered already. So I'm going to be repeating questions at some point because I was late. Joined 40 minutes late. But I'm here. So I'll try to see where the conversation is at, and I'll join you guys.
Okay, cool.
Sure, Fox.
Okay, let's pass on the mic to the short chubby ninja. He's been here a bit longer. Short chubby ninja, happy Tuesday. Please unmute your mic.
Yo. Aye, we here. Good afternoon. Well, good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. And unfortunately, I'm also late, and I'm sorry for about that, man. Yeah, we had studio sessions, so we needed to record. But nevertheless, we still here. We have Clara Hill, of course. And guys, please share the space. Welcome to it. It is Everything House Music. I am Pogo the DJ. But yeah, as Vox already mentioned a lot. Clara, how are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. I'm super.
Yeah. You good?
I'm really happy to be in South Africa. Yeah.
We're really blessed to have you here, and we're really blessed to have you through the space tonight and asking questions. And yeah, it's just a blessing. Hey, we never get to have this chance in life, but then thanks to the likes of Elon Musk, yeah, for bringing spaces and all that. But let's get into it. So firstly, like already Lloyd has mentioned that probably there are some questions that we're gonna ask that you already have answered, but we would appreciate if probably you could just give us probably a short sentence of probably your history or anything in terms of the questions that we would ask. With my questions, let's start here because this is the question I always ask each and every artist that we have: is where did you start with your music? Is it something that comes from your family, or is it family related, or was it you generally just loving music, or how was it? How did it all begin?
Yes, I think I spoke a little bit about this, but I started to make music. You mean professionally, or when just music, like when you were a child?
You growing up with music, you knowing that I want to do music.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I grew up in a family with a lot of music. My mom listened a lot of music. She was also playing guitar a little bit. My grandfather was playing violin and was funny. And I was always surrounded by music, I mentioned that before. I grew up in the GDR. This country doesn't exist anymore. The country inside of Germany. So for us, it was always hard to get music from outside, but we had some black markets, and my mom could get some vinyls from Barry White or the Rolling Stones, Beatles, and so she was.
Pleasure song that.
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's network. No, I was saying that. So can you tell me, like, regarding your performances, like, what's your favorite part about performing live music, and like, tell me what's your pleasure song that you secretly enjoy out of the music that you have done.
Okay. Hold on. To answer your first question, because when I was actually not finished, I started to make music when I was 17. This I just wanted to say, because this was when I founded my first band, what we spoke about. So to come back to your first question, I started to make music when I was 17, kind of professionally, and before I started to play piano when I was 10. And maybe before that, when I was even younger, I had the first time a little guitar in my hand. So for kids, I just wanted to say that my parents listened a lot of music besides soul and funk and white stuff. They also listened to a lot of classic music, and this was influencing me. So I just wanted to finish your first question. And can you repeat your second question, please, again?
Oh, I'm sorry, Clara. Yeah, the team just told me now that you were actually speaking and I interjected. I'm sorry because there was a network issue. I apologize very much about that. Yeah, I'm really, really sorry about that. But yeah, my second question, it was about your performances. Like, what's your favorite part about performing live, and what's that secret, like that guilty pleasure song that you secretly love, out of the music that you have done already?
Mhm. Yeah, so the favorite part of the performance. Oh, yeah. The favorite part of the performance is definitely um when you get the direct feedback from the people, what is happening here right now. This is exactly what I love. This is giving me and every artist, of course, an uplifting feeling, to have the direct feedback, the positive feedback, of course, when the people sing your lyrics, when the people feel your music, when the people sing even the bass lines or drum parts. They you can see that they sing this with you. This for me is the best part performing live. I had also a lot of gigs where I was playing and you don't get the feedback. You have an audience there, which is kind of stiff, and you give everything on stage, but then, yeah, of course, it gives you an insecure feeling if you don't have the direct feedback. As if you have an audience which is there full on 100%. They give you the love. They scream. They give you the no, I don't know the English word. Um, affection, maybe. They give you the affection. Then it is yeah. This is. This is why you are a musician and you make music, because the direct feedback you don't have when you make the album, or when you record something. um this is my favorite part. Technically, also my favorite part is when I can hear myself. This is an A and O, you would say in Germany. Um, when I'm on stage and I can't hear myself, and I think I speak for a lot of singers, then you cannot perform so well. Mm, and then you cannot give so much of yourself, because what you give is your voice. Also me as a singer, I give my voice, I sing, but if I can't hear myself, I'm not able to give so much, and then maybe the feedback is also not so good, and yeah. So it's a different energy. So if the singer can hear himself wonderfully, if you have a wonderful feedback, if after the concert people are coming to you asking questions or even crying, I had people in the township here, they were crying, then of course it's heart touching, it's overwhelming, and this is for me the best part of playing live. And this is what's
Ah,
happening here right now. Yeah.
beautiful. Beautiful. I can tell, like you just mentioned that people are crying. Can you see what you're doing to people's hearts and souls,
That's
Maria?
amazing.
Can you see you touching people's souls? But the second question, okay, my third question that I'd like to ask is, what's that guilty pleasure song that you secretly love out of all your catalog? What's that one song that you could say, yeah, this song, no matter what, no matter where, yeah, I'll still love it forever.
You mean my own song?
Yes, out of your catalog, out of
Wow.
your
Wow.
own catalog.
That's a very difficult question,
Get you
because,
right?
as you know, I have 6 albums out, and each album is different, which makes it so difficult. And each album has yeah, a different vibe. It's even different genres. So maybe I could answer which song from which genre album I like, but wow, that's really, I have to think about it. I really have to think about it.
Okay, it's
That's a
fine. It's
hard
fine.
question.
It's fine. Let's skip that one. We'll come back before closing.
I
We'll
mean,
come back to it.
yeah, I mean, I would like to say, um, you know, maybe I can't say one song, but I can say maybe there are a few which I still love to sing, or where I still love the production. For instance, Silent Distance is still kicking me if I hear the production, not the way I'm singing, because my voice has changed, you know. When I hear the first and second albums, like my voice is a little bit like, because you were younger and a little bit more like this, and maybe the voice matured during the years and became a little bit more rounder or whatever, or more confident, you know. But Silent Distance is production wise a cool song, and I recently performed Restless Times. Amazing. The production, not the way I'm singing, but the production, also flawless live from the first album. Amazing. Nowhere I Can Go. I still love to sing because it's fun. I feel very comfortable to sing that song. But yeah, give me a few minutes more to really think about this question, because it's
Nah, I understand. Let me ask one last question, and then we pass it over to Lloyd.
okay.
So I'd like to know. Let's talk now. You know, there's no music, there's no gigs, there's nothing. Now, tell me, like, how do you unwind and relax when you're not creating or performing any music?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so nowadays I paint. You know, I'm a graphic designer as well, so I studied that, and I always were painting. Even when I was a little child, I always had my pencil with me, and I was always drawing. You know, and I painted and I drawed a lot. Then I made my graphic design, and my music was parallel. Then I made more music, and the graphic design was going on parallel. Um, but nowadays, if I'm not making music, I need some weeks and maybe months to really come down. So let's say there's no, as you say, there are no concerts, no productions, which is actually sad because I love to do collaborations and concerts and productions. But let's say there is nothing, then I paint. This is relaxing me a lot. Um, I love to watch films. I love to cook. I love to cook and I love to eat. You know, I'm a big eater, and this is relaxing me as well. Um, I spend time with friends, with my partner, but what personally is really relaxing me is painting and being in the nature, being silence, you know, enjoying the silence. No speak, no cars, just listening. It sounds cheesy, I know, but it's really, for me, it's a deep, profound relaxation, listening to birds. And the most ultimate thing is being in the nature, listening to birds, and paint at the same time. Then I'm happy and relaxed.
Ah, beautiful. You're meditating on nature while still coming up with some beautiful art design. Such beautiful, man. Such beautiful. But let's park it there for now, and then we'll come back with more questions. Let's just give others a chance. But thank you very, very much, Clara. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Axel, Lloyd.
Hola, hola. Hi, Clara.
Hello.
I'd like to know, have you ever had a vocal coach?
Um, one day, as a 2 hours, you know, I had some problems in the past, and I still have sometimes because I have not a trained voice. And someone told me, "Hey, you have to go to a vocal coach." Okay, I go to a vocal coach, and I was there, like it was a woman. I was there when I was. Oh no, I'm lying. 2 times I was for 2 hours there. The first time when I was 21 or something, she said, actually, ah, you know what? I will not continue working with you because your voice is so different, and you have your own style. If you would take lessons with me, you would adapt my style, and maybe it's not good. And she was just giving me some advice for technical breathings and this and that, for eating ginger. At that time, I did not even know what ginger is. You know, I was so. sublime coming from the GDR. So she introduced me for ginger tea and some technical aspects, but I never went to this woman again. And then a second time before we started the Jazzanova live band tour in, hold on, when was that? 2000, I can't remember. It's such a long time ago. It must be maybe over 10 years ago, because this band is touring since a long time. There I had the same problems, that my voice is, if I'm singing too much, rehearsing too much, warm up too much myself, then the voice is gone. And I thought, okay, I have to go maybe to a coach to get some, to make some trainings. But also this woman told me, okay, actually everything is there. Everything is there. I can't teach you something. You have everything there. Maybe some breathings and and some warm up techniques, but everything's there. So actually, I can say yes, I had, but I had no, I had no coaching.
Makes sense. Do you think it's important for a vocalist to actually have an encounter with a vocal coach at some point in their career?
Yeah, I think it's not bad because of the exercises. You can, or actually you can get some exercises also YouTube. I guess you can Google a lot of exercises, but I would say here, the direct contact to the teacher, that he can see you, how, or hear you and see you how you sing. He can give you some advices, especially the part, I don't know how this is in English, the belly, the belly is, it's also singing with, it's not only the throat which is singing and your head, psychologically, physically, it's also your belly. And a lot of because I'm giving also classes now, so from time to time, a lot of young singers, they just sing with the throat and not with the belly. So it's good that definitely it's nice to see a vocal coach, of course, or a teacher. It doesn't need to be a coach. It can be also a teacher who gives you advice. It doesn't need to be 1 month, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 sessions can be enough to stabilize or to give you an impression what you can improve with your voice.
Do you think at some point in your life you're gonna be a vocal coach?
Yes, I can imagine that. And I gave also 3 times in my life already lessons. There was a rapper. He came to me. He was recording his album, and then on one song he wanted to sing, and he could not really. He had problems to sing, so I was giving him some advices just intuitively, and then I had 2 other singers, and I had actually fun. I wouldn't say that I'm a teacher, but I can, the same with the workshop, I can give some knowledge further, and I can intuitively, plus I was also reading a little bit about also how to teach. So yeah, I can do that. I would say I can do that, and I like to do that. And maybe in the near future, I want to do that more often.
Oh, thank you. One last question. Is there a genre that you'd like to try and make a song at? That
Say
one
again?
genre. Do you have that one genre that you'd like to try?
You mean the genre, some music genre,
Yes.
which I did not do yet, and I would love to try.
Yes.
Um, So I never performed, or I was never singing with a big orchestra. I had the conversation, I think, 2 days ago. I was singing in a little orchestra, but I never was singing in a big orchestra. I think it's a dream of every singer to sing with a big orchestra. I think that might be very cool. It can be also some score. You know, need to be classic. It can be like score melodies, score orchestras, arrangements. I think I would love to sing with this. I can imagine to make one big piece of 10 minutes going through different phases of one song in an orchestra part. This I can imagine, orchestra genre, classical genre, score. And then still it would be challenging also in a very abstract avant-garde genre, which I never did. I had some experiments on my Walk the Distance album, but I never went further into this. You know, very abstract, like I forgot the name of this actor. I forgot the name. Anyway, there are a lot of idols I have, and I would love to make some abstract music also, but maybe not a full album. Maybe just also one or two pieces where I use my voice as an instrument, like cut it and in a very abstract way. Can be interesting. Yeah.
Definitely, it's gonna be interesting. That would be very interesting. I think that's it for me from now.
Okay.
We'll have to give it back to Booga for music.
Cool.
Booga.
Before a DJ plays us a song, I see that he's also disconnected. Clara, yeah, I just wanted to mention that we're gonna play a song, and then we'll do a last round of questions, and then we can call it a night, so you can get some rest, please. It's in the evening. You probably need some rest for tomorrow, and so yeah. But thank you so much again for your time. It's one of those once in a lifetime opportunities. We'll never get this ever again. We probably might chair, and I told Ralph this that he must invite us to the workshop, and we'll be one of the speakers. Yeah, so we'll do that one of these days. That'll be super cool and super fun.
I can imagine.
Absolutely. I've asked Boga to play us Nowhere I Can Go, where Clara Hill meets Atjazz. Before he plays it, do you remember the time I actually made the song and the impact that it's made? I mean, it's made a huge impact in SA. There's been a couple of remixes from it. But do you remember just making that song and today it's a huge hit today?
Yeah. I remember when I made this song, definitely. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when I got the first instrumental from Atjazz. I remember when I got the development of the second sketch. I remember how my feelings were when I heard that. I remember exactly where I was sitting, how I was singing, what feeling I had when I was singing that. The memory is very clear. It doesn't feel to me that it's such a long time ago. For me, the song is still kind of fresh. It's a beautiful song, and I remember the inspirations I had, because at that time I was dancing a lot to the Inner Visions parties from Dixon. He was giving in the weekend club in Berlin, legendary party row, dance row, and I was totally into that, and I wanted to bring this a little bit into the song. I remember, so there was some Dixon influence as well, and I remember definitely very clear how I did that and how it was with Atjazz together. Lovely work.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thanks to everyone who's joined us on Everything House Music this evening. Today our guest is is an international sensation, Clara Hill. We've been with her for the past hour, 20 minutes now. Just chats. So we're just gonna play a song and then come back as we finish off our chat with her. But DJ, please play us some music, brother. Thank you.
This is Sabrina Child, and you are tuned in to Everything House Music. Sabrina Child, and you are tuned in to Everything House Music.
Thank you so much to Buddha DJ for a wonderful song from our guest, Clara Hill, alongside the legend himself Atjazz, Nowhere I Can Go. This was released in All I Can Provide, that amazing album that Clara Hill released in 2006. Amazing album indeed.
Can I ask you something before you continue to that?
Please go ahead.
Because I really, I was always asking myself, when, because obviously a lot of people know that song here, and I really would love to know when the song became here, let's say popular, or when the people started to hear that song. Do you have any idea?
I'll talk from a personal view. I think the album when you released the album, I was in high school. I think I was in grade 8, somewhere there. And we had a lot of compilations in SA at the time. And a lot of the music that we were fond of, that we had the privilege of listening to, was literally exports. So music from the likes of Atjazz, from the likes of Vikter Duplaix was just easily accessible because the compilations were just easily released for the longest time. So, for instance, Paper Chase was one of those songs where we literally loved them. I loved it. And I say that because it's at the time, as a young fan of music, it was called international music. So you're like, shit, this sounds good. But who's this artist? Who's this vocalist? And of course, over the years, you do a research, excuse me, and then you find out it's it's someone that perhaps one day you'll actually talk to or have a conversation with. So from my side, I've loved your music, perhaps from my early teens. Yes, from my early teens, because I remember this album. I remember this album very well. So that's for me. I'll pass on the mic to the gents. Perhaps they have a different thought or something to share regarding that. So let's start with Lloyd. Lloyd, anything from your side?
Sorry?
Sort of works. You mean regarding what?
So Clara was asking regarding the song that we just played. Do you remember it from back in the day? How it makes you feel when you hear it?
Or when it became popular here, because I was here in 2014
Oh,
for the first
there
time,
was.
and I realized, wow, some people downstairs there know that song. Wow, that's crazy. But it was 14, you know.
There was this car wash we used to go to on Sundays, and there was this other guy, Ramita Skep. We called him Skepe. He was literally the guy who brought us new music. We'd hear new songs through him. So I think this song he played it on that particular Sunday, and we were like, dude, who's this the track ID, who produced the song? And it's like, nah, don't worry, my brother, don't worry. Think it kept it for like months and months and months until we figured out, oh, it was Atjazz. But at the time, we didn't actually pay attention to the vocalists.
Yes.
I think we didn't really care about who was behind the vocals. We cared much more about who produced the song.
The production.
And yeah, so I think that's my memory of the song. But until later on, when you get used to listening to the same, it's like, man, I've heard this person before on this particular song. You're hearing the same person again. Then you ask a question, who's the vocalist? And no, this Clara Hill. Oh, okay, you know. But at the first time, I don't think I cared much about the vocalist at the time. But yeah, that's my memory of the song.
Very interesting. Cool to hear the other side. Definitely.
We never get that on everything house music. We never get asked the questions, honestly. So thank you so much for that. We just never get asked the questions. So thank you so much for that. Let me pass on the mic to Ufundiswa. Okay, we have a female speaker. That's so nice. Maybe she also has wonderful thoughts about the song. Fundiswa, welcome to Everything House Music. Please unmute your mic. Okay, let me try again. Fundiswa, mic check. Please unmute your mic. I think Fundiswa can't hear me, but hopefully we can get her back and get her thoughts regarding today's space. I'll go next to Ecopulsive. Ecopulsive, welcome to Everything House Music, brother. Please unmute your mic.
How's it going? Mic check, 1, 2.
Now we can hear you loud and clear, brother.
Perfect. Happy Tuesday, guys. Good evening, Clara Hill.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm Very fine. And you?
I'm well. I'm a bit. I have a bit of fear, of
Yeah.
meeting or speaking to the greats of the industry. But through this space, I've had the great opportunity, and
Yeah.
today I'm very, very proud to be here. And I heard your whole story, and it's amazing, truly, truly amazing.
You will have the same fear like I had. I'm not a big interviewer or giving interviews, so I always have fear or nervous speaking about the music because yeah, I'm a singer. I think my forte is more singing than speaking, so I had also fear before I came to here. So it's totally normal, I think.
Sure, sure. I think musicians are more of a introvert kind of people, but it's cool. It's cool that we can speak about music so freely. And
Yes.
uh, I had a question here that's been racing my mind because you do so many, you do in well, to narrow it down to two, live music and recorded music, and you perform both. And I want to know from your perspective, do you prefer the recorded music, or do you prefer jam sessions and live music? Maybe a song that the original was more dance, and you make a jam session into like jazzy feel. What do you prefer to perform?
Hmm. That's also a good question. Also, in general, um, I like to be more in the studio and create music because, as I said before, um, performing is a lovely thing, and if everything works well, like nice stage, like engineer, like nice sound, nice crew, lovely audience, lovely feedback. If this is all happening, then a live performance is also lovely. But this is not happening so often, as not in my case. Um, these are the highlights. That's why I think I prefer more to be in the studio and create the music. But maybe it can also change. That if I would come more to South Africa and I have these lovely gigs like I have here, then I would say, yay! From now on, I love to perform more instead of being in the studio. You never know. But your question was also if I like to do jam sessions. Um, I did not do so often in the past because of I was always nervous to do jam sessions. I was always nervous. Um, Maybe nowadays I would be not so nervous anymore, but still nervous because yeah, jam sessions is even another part than performing live. Because when you perform live, you have your structures, you have your songs, you have your lyrics. You know what you do, but the jam session, you don't know what to do. You just go into the unknown and you let yourself go, and if you can let yourself go, and you jam. Um, but that's definitely something which, how you say, I would love to learn to jump over my own shadow to do that more often. If the opportunities are coming to do some jam sessions, if I have one or two glasses of wine, I'm sorry, then maybe I could be more relaxed to do that. But it's not happening so often. But if this is happening, then I should say yes instead of, oh, nah, I don't want to do because I'm shy or, you know. Um, and also, if I understood you right, then yes, of course, I would also do jazzy jam sessions because this is what it is. I mean, I don't know, house jam sessions. I mean, yeah, you never know. House jam sessions, if this is really exists, something like this. I mean, you have a beat and then you can jam over it. But like a classical jam sessions, when you have a lot of musicians in the room, everybody's playing another instrument, and you have even two singers or someone who's making who's doing some spoken words. That's something different. But yeah, I would not say no. I would learn to say not no to that.
That's you. I think you actually be amazing at jamming because you both play an instrument and sing so lovely. So the talent all just focused into a session. You could even jam by yourself and it would be still so amazing. But I trust that you would try this someday. Get yourself a bottle of wine, get yourself 2 glasses, and then give it a nice try. Maybe shoot a video. Let's
Yeah,
check it out on YouTube as
yeah.
well.
I was seeing how Sio is doing that. The singer Sio, I think this is how you spell her, Sio, and
Yes.
she does amazing. Wow, I mean, I have to learn from her. She's so freely going on TikTok, linking into other open channels from artists, and she's just jamming over it so freely and so beautifully. I mean, she's doing very cool. So yeah, maybe it's never too late to learn. So I can maybe learn something from her. You never know.
Yes. I think yeah, it's just being you, being yourself, and but I guess I'm a bit young to understand your side of music. I'm still growing in my own space. But yes, live music is definitely amazing. And one question that I really felt I had to ask, you are from Berlin.
Yes, yes, I am.
Berlin is thanks to the media era. Berlin in Germany, right, is seen as the Miami of Germany. It's seen as the Durban of Germany. It's seen as the Ibiza of Germany.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, as someone who was born and bred in Berlin, how the influence of music has had an impact in your life or your music or your choices in
Mm.
music.
Mm. Berlin was always a music affine city with a lot of artists and a lot of musicians and a lot of, as said, like these jam sessions or musicians on the street, a big club scene. Techno was kind of born there as well, and you had this love parade. And I never been to that music, I never was too deep in this music, but there were always music, there was always music. I think, and this after the war came down, of course, in the early 90s, checking out, sneaking into this, looking to that club, going out, listen to a lot of music, seeing musicians had an impact. Yes, because you have this artistic environment, I would say. But I think I was more influenced by the people from outside, musicians, which I saw, some international artists. Um, I think it had more an impact on me, for making music and writing music. Like I said, I want to sound like him, or I would like to sing like her, or I get some inspiration from this band, or I love the synthesizer from that band. But um, I never looked on Berlin artists, I would say. But it was helpful to have this environment, as I said, like, because at a certain moment you felt that Berlin is growing in such an amazing way, artistically, culturally, that a lot of people from outside, they came to Berlin. I remember that, and I don't know when it was, in a club like there was Tricky, for instance, and I think Tricky is still living in Berlin, or I don't know, Portishead was here, or Jamiroquai here and there, and you saw also that people moved to Berlin. Yeah, artists, musicians moved to Berlin. It was like, wow, crazy. Nowadays is normal for me, but at that time you had the feeling, 2000 or early 2000, that the whole world is coming to Berlin. You did not. There was no need to go out because everybody came to Berlin. I think it helped to create the music confidence or consciousness. But personally, for the music I was doing, beside of working personally with the musicians together, which I met in Berlin, the influence came more from music from outside, internationally, America, London, yeah, artists, music I was loving, I listened to, and I wanted to sound like this and that. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you. Music is always spread wide all over the world, but
Yes.
I really understand the location also has a very big impact because,
Yes.
like you said, it's quite different. You know, people start coming in from all cities, and not to take anything away from cities like Munich and so forth, but like Cape Town this side and Johannesburg. But yeah, I think there's always that city that gives us a hope in terms of music, and I really wish to
Yes.
come to Berlin
Yeah.
someday. I've seen the work. It's amazing, that site.
Yes.
But yeah,
Amazing. It's still amazing. Definitely. It's still amazing. It's still a lot of things going on, but in a different way and not like it was before, of course, because you had a lot of nice clubs. You know, after the wall came down, there was this exotic adventure feeling in the air. You could smell it. Yeah, this is gone because of the gentrification which is going on in Berlin and certain districts, of course, here and there. Oh, I can say it honestly. Clubs are dying. Also, cool clubs from the past, they dying because you know how it is in the gentrification. Someone comes there with a lot of money. He wants to build a house there. Okay, this club has to go on. So we tear down and put a house there that people can go in. They have a lot of money and they can buy these flats in the house. So I don't need to explain that. And yes, of course, Berlin is still amazing. In certain districts, there is still a lot of music going on, and a lot of artists are living there, painters. It's very inspiring, that's for sure. So if we can use this word inspiration, then of course an environment where a lot of music is going on inspires you more to make music than you would live in the village outside of Berlin, 3 hours away, and there's no music going on. That's for sure. Yes.
thank you. Hopefully, the dance music scene allows Berlin to survive as the music
Yes.
capital
Yes.
in Germany, because I think that's really big right now. Labels like Rise and so on.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you for answering my questions so well thought out and so fully. Thank you to the hosts, and thank you to everyone who's here.
Can I ask you how young you are? Because you said you are so young. Then we were talking about the jam sessions. You said you are young. How young you are?
I'm actually 23 right now.
Okay. And when you speak about jams, what? Sorry to ask you, what is it about? Then what you understand about jam sessions?
Well, I had this friend when I started producing music. I had this one friend from my hometown, Escort, that did also live music. He played instruments and he also produced music. So he's the person who gave me a few tips about production and the digital audio workstation that I was using. But he always preferred live music. In fact, he went to Joburg to continue with live music. And the way he used to play and jam, it used to, like when you have 2 or 3 artists in the same room and they just start playing chords, and sometimes it's not even planned. I love seeing that. As much as I wouldn't pursue it, maybe it's not my passion to play instruments, but it is my passion to put sounds together
Yeah.
from maybe a jam session and make it into a production
Yeah.
or a project.
Yeah.
However, I really do still love to see people jamming, a singer, a pianist, a brass player, flute, whatever instruments that can be there, bass, guitar, everything.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. So then actually, then we speak the same language. Then it's actually what I was speaking about. Yeah. You can jam with many people, or you can just jam in a room with 2 notebooks and exchanging sounds. That's also a jam. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Thanks. Thanks for the question, by the way.
Welcome.
Shout out to Ecopulsive. Clara, Ecopulsive himself is a producer. He's even released under the Atjazz record label. So we have some royalty in the house. Like before I pass on the mic to the Deep House journalist, the Deep House News has just joined us. If there's artists in SA, if there's artists in the space right now, perhaps if there's producers that would like to make music with you, firstly, is that possible? And then secondly, how do they go about that? Thank you.
I had this question also in the workshop. Music is so big, and music, how kitschy that sounds and cliche that sounds, music has no borders. So if we don't try, we never experience. I wouldn't say no. In the past, I was saying more no. I was more picky, sticky smickies with choosing instrumental. But now I would say no. If there is someone who really wants to make music with me, then why not? He can send me the instrumental. But the thing is, yes, it has to vibe, it has to connect with me, the instrumental. If I don't hear any deeper connection, then maybe it will not happen. But is there some talent out there who think this song is cool? Then yeah, the normal procedure would be that I get the instrumental, and then of course I'm asking for a fee. But if it's so convincing, and if there's really talent behind that, and if there's some pushing things in the air that I would like to help, then yeah, maybe I would also sing without a fee. Yeah, but the normal thing is, of course, there's a fee behind it. But beside this, I'm open to listen some other instrumentals. Yes, of course. Maybe there's even one day, maybe there can be even an idea for making an album. Or yeah, let's say an album. Let's stay in that classical way, too. That I choose people, unknown people, who but they make amazingly music, and we put all these songs on one LP, and we release that LP on Spotify, Bandcamp. Everything is possible. And then I love to be creative and have a lot of fantasy like this, and we call it the unknown artist or whatever. That could be actually an idea, not just to receive one instrumental there and one instrumental there, but maybe I could open one day a big pool, and I say, okay, everybody can send me the instrumentals, and we put it on one LP. If it's cool, why not? It's actually a nice idea, I have to say.
I think that's an amazing idea. And I think that's and seeing that you're here in SA, I think you deserve to make an album just for SA, just for us,
Yeah.
with musicians, with producers from these shores. But thank you for answering that.
Mm-hmm. Welcome.
Let me pass on the mic to Deep House News. I see now people all of a sudden are coming in as we, as we're about to close, but it happens more often than not. Deep House News, welcome to Everything House Music. Please unmute your mic.
Hey, Vox. Evening, and apologies for not being here from the beginning. Yeah, it's definitely a space that I'm gonna listen to again. So, I just wanted to register my apologies.
No problem.
Hey, Clara, how are you?
I'm super. And you?
I'm well. Good. I just, yeah, a big fan of yours. I think it was definitely a dream come true last year to perform and hang out with you a bit at Deep Soul Sensation last year.
Yeah.
Um, amazing performer, world class singer. Yeah, I think you've been a gift to house music, and
Oh,
we really appreciate that. You can consider making some timeless masterpiece in this form or genre of
oh,
music. I think I
cool.
think I've got two questions for you. I'll just ask them after you've answered each one. So the first one would be your top five vocalists of all time.
Whoa. Wow. Um, that's an interesting question because it depends on in which period of phase I am. I maybe change it, but spontaneously, just vocalist, right? Just
Just
vocalists.
vocalist.
Which means the voice which is still resonating with me. No? Nick Drake. Nick Drake is for me still amazing. His voice. Yeah, I would still go because I would still go with the Parallelograms album from Linda Perhix. I would still go with this because it's for that time it's amazing. Also her voice there is lovely. Oh wow, these questions. It's always so complicated because there are so many nice vocalists. I love personally more the vocals which has this soft touch, the soft, airy soul, a deep, a voice which is really deep and soulful and sensitive. I'm still loving these voices. Pah. Wow, I have to give you an answer. I know that's so difficult. Um, how much time I have to think? Okay, recently, and this is also funny. I never gave this answer, but recently I was watching a documentary about George Michael,
Ooh.
and of course he has also an interesting voice, and people see him as the voice. But I'm not sure. I mean, I was not listening too much George Michael, but I would say he has a lovely voice also
Yeah.
because it's intimate, it's sexy, but soulful and deep and intelligent. So this mixture is lovely. I love this mixture.
Careless whisper to his
Oh,
voice.
yeah. It's so difficult. Wow. I mean, there are so many. Thundercat has also an amazing voice, and I like BBO. BBO is still one of my favorite. But maybe BBO more in the way of how he produces and how he's playing the guitar. Oh, you know what? I have some minutes to think about it. Oh, I have to think about it. It's such a difficult question.
That's fine.
Nina Simone. Nina Simone. Wow. Amazing voice, no?
Yeah.
So the longer I think about, the more would pop up. But I have to be honest. I'm always blocked with these questions because I know my brain, and my brain needs to think. I need to think a little bit to give a clear answer to that.
Yeah. Then my final question. The song "Nowhere." I hope no one asked this question. With Atjazz, has someone asked it?
You mean what question?
The music that you made with Atjazz for the track "Nowhere."
Nowhere I can go. Yeah.
Yeah.
He asked me if I can remember everything about the song. Yes, he was asking this question.
Okay. I've got it. Who was it meant for?
You mean in my personally?
Yes, or who personally in
Yeah.
your has come close to those lyrics?
Mhm. Normally, I have let's say 70%. I have a person who write for, but to be honest, at that point, I was seeing it more globally. Globally, I had no person. I think I did not even have a boyfriend at that time. So, and I was not in the moment of being separated or something like that. So I was in a neutral place, in a good place, and I was just I think I had no specific person I was writing for. I was seeing it more more globally, more nowhere I can go without you if you would be there, you know.
Yeah.
Or another, how a girl would sing to a boy, or a boy would sing to a girl. There was no specific person, which is maybe not too bad.
True. Let me rather ask this. Let me just take a like quick advice. Out of all your music, um, yeah, has someone lived up to those lyrics? Have you ever woke up or you know thinking about someone with a specific song in mind? Like I don't know if I'm making sense, but has your music ever yeah, if you has your music ever which song oh I don't want to get too personal, but has that ever happened that the music that you've made over your illustrious career in your personal, it doesn't have to be romantic, but
You
relationship.
mean if I made music for someone, or if I wrote a song for someone?
Yes, or like
Yes.
which would that one which one would it be?
For instance, oh yeah, there were a lot. Especially on the Sideways album, or recently was the how was the title? Oh God, I forget my own titles. On the Shine album, the last song. Ah, Jesus, I forgot the title.
All the best for you.
Yes, thank you. This one is specifically was for someone that I knew that this relationship will not last. So I wrote this song for this person, and the song, the person was even listening to that song and was crying. So that was very emotional, and I was also a little bit crying when I was singing that. There was a one take recording, was not maybe the perfect one, but sometimes I leave these first takes because it's more, yeah, it has a good feeling, and I was kind of crying. But there were a lot of, there were a lot of songs where I broke up, or some love was not fulfilled, and I put this thing into my music, this moment. And there were a lot of tracks which I wrote for specifically men, or but also when I was happy, Panotto, for instance. Panotto is also, I was expressing my feeling to a love which was fulfilled, you know. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. They're also abstract. They're also abstract lyrics or fictivo lyrics, but this one jumps into my mind. All the best for you was for someone, especially.
Okay. No, thank you for your answers, and once again, one of the greatest vocalists we've experienced in house music. So it's an honor
Thank you so much.
to hear
I'm
you
honored.
guys. I'd
I'm
suggest for
overwhelmed.
everyone. I'll suggest for anyone in the space, they need to see you perform live. It's quite amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, bye.
Shout out to the Deep House News. Thank you for joining us, brother. Next up, let's give the mic to Empire RSA. Empire RSA, please unmute your mic.
Sure, Vox. Thanks, man. Thanks for giving me this opportunity, and good evening to everyone here on the space, and obviously good evening to our special guest, Clara Hill. Hope you warm. Yeah, my question has to do with the question that Voxman asked. You touched on briefly on it, and I just need a bit of clarity. So, in terms of collaborations, moving on to like the business side of things, you know, you did mention that there's obviously a fee payable, you know, for a collaboration, and I understand that. But now, knowing Clara Hill, who not only is just a singer, a vocalist, a producer, but a business in and of itself, you know, so how do you handle the publishing that is, you know, entitled to you? Because I know you work with big labels, you know, the likes of Atjazz Record Company, Go-Go Music, and others. So if perhaps there's no fee payable, but there's perhaps a percentage that you are entitled to or promised, you know, how do you work around that? And my other question is, since you are mainly, I believe, based in Germany, you know, which publishing house do you use there, or do you use ASCAP, which is also American, and the other BMI? You know, I'd love to know which publisher do you use? Thank you.
Okay. I start with your second question. So I have a publishment. This is you can read that also on my contact on my website, which is clarahill.com. And there on my contact site, you see that I'm not exclusively there, but is a publisher I work with since years, and he's helping me a lot. It's Schacht Music. That's an old publisher. He exists since a long time, and I'm there. So with my catalog, but I'm not exclusively there. And in the past, I had another publishment, but I think it doesn't exist anymore. And a long time, I had no publishment at all. So I was so naive, let me say, and I was just, you know, in my dreamy music world, and I did not really was into the business side. Now I am more than I was in the past, that I just made collaborations, did albums, pushing music, put music out, but there was no publishment, you know. And I think a lot of money I never got because of this, because I did not sign anything, or I had no real contracts. I had to learn this all during the years. That's why because also I think Atjazz was telling me, Clara, oh yeah, you look here, because he was into the business very early, because he started to make his own label. He said, yeah, look, you have to do this and that. So he was helping me a little bit. He was supporting me a little bit. But at that time I had already 3 albums or 4 albums out. And sooner or later there came the decision, okay, I have to have a help, a professional help, someone who's taking care, who's controlling the incomes and the royalties and also the copyrights. You know, that was a big until now, actually, because of the past, there's a kind of mess, but the publishment is taking care. But in the past, there was actually a chaos because I did so many collaborations, Japan, America, with this artist here, with this artist there. I just saw it as a playground, I saw the music and I thought, okay, I have to do music with him, I have to do music with her. Yeah, let's make music. But 2 years later, hold on, this song came out, but I never had a contract. I was like this. So, this you have to learn, especially when you make a lot of collaborations. And now I know how it's working. And now I have the publishment. I have someone who's collecting my royalties. There is the German GBL, which is an institution for collecting royalties. There's the GEMA, which is something like the PPL in the UK. So I'm registered finally in all these, let's say, companies. But still, from the past, there are some question signs open, and still we can't, because after 5 years it's gone. We cannot collect things anymore. So money, goodbye. It's somewhere. I hope that the money with my music is going to good places. I hope that I could help someone who had not so much money at that time. I have no idea where my money is gone, but it's okay. At one point you have to say, okay, I was stupid. This is the price I have to learn. And that's okay. That's the past. It's the past. So I have to look forward. But if it comes to a collaboration, it depends really with whom I make music. Is this person or is the producer already well known? Does he have a strong publishment? Does he have a strong label? Beside, is this a famous person? If it's a famous person and he has a good structure behind it, then maybe I would ask for a fee. Because still, as I told you before, it's work. It's not that I'm writing music and having, it's easy peasy. No, it's not. It's work. I write melodies. I write lyrics. I record the vocals. If there is more money involved, I go into the studio, which costs money. I arrange the vocals, I cut them, I clean them. So for one collaboration, it might happen that you can ask my partner, he knows better than I do, I can work 3, 4, 5 weeks, not continuously. I make breaks, but it's a long work. And if I have no other income, I have to ask for a fee. It can be a small fee. It would be lovely if it's a bigger fee, but if this person has not so much money, then we find ways to make a compromise. But still, if I really concentrate on this collaboration and we both, the producer and I, we want to have a good result, it takes time, and time is money nowadays. I don't like to say that sentence, but it is like that. And I have to pay my rent as well. And a little income I have to have during this process of making music. It sounds hard, though. I don't like to say that, but it's like that. And there I'm also the businesswoman,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So to add on to my question, so basically to like the music business, I'm fairly new, and I'm glad that I can have this opportunity to speak to people like yourself, who have the experience, have learned from their mistakes, and so forth. So in terms of like the recording of a song, say for example you're working with a producer and they have an agreement with a particular label. Let's take Defected for example, since they're one of the biggest we have. So in most cases the label deals with the producer and there's a budget involved. When it comes to selecting a recording studio for you as a vocalist, normally there should be a budget for that as well. how is the agreement between you and the producer? Do you like pay for it and then demand it from them or the label? I'm trying to understand
Mm,
as to how does this work now. Do you ever find yourself in a situation whereby you pay for recording of a vocal when you
mhm.
are sent the instrumental, or when you are given a rough idea? How does that work now?
Yeah, actually, both happened in the past. No? If there is budget involved from the beginning and it's a clear conversation, then it can be that the label is paying the studio and I just go there, or I pay the studio in advance and get the money later. So everything is possible. But nowadays, I really record the most of the vocals at home in my studio because I established a little studio that I have. So actually, I can't remember when I was the last time in the studio. It might be a few years ago when I was. Yes, I was singing on. I was singing background vocals on another album of a girl. She was quite famous in Italy. Yes, I remember. So there was a lot of money involved. She was on a major label, and she wanted to, I think it was through Jazzanova, as far as I remember. They wanted me to have a background, so I was there in the big studio. But most of the time, I have a good setup at home, and the quality I can record and make these vocal pre-productions. It's kind of okay when I'm doing it at home, and I'm not asking for myself to give me studio costs. This is then everything included in a fee I would ask for. Is this answering your question?
Perfectly so. Thank you so much. Last and final question. Step out of the music business now and wearing the hat of a sound engineer. As a vocalist, have you perhaps found that there's a specific brand or a specific mic that works for your voice? And if so, which mic is that?
Good question. There is a microphone. I forgot the name, but I have a screenshot in my iPhone. I was singing through that microphone 2 years ago, and it was for me a aha effect. It was also Neumann microphone, but don't ask me for the number. I forgot the number. It was a condensation microphone, which you could use for using it in the studio for studio recordings, and I think also to have it on stage. I think that would be an investment to have this microphone, but I'm using also since years an old Neumann microphone. It's the TL, I don't know exactly the number, 103 or something, or 102, I can't remember. This I'm using a lot of times, even though this is what we're talking about in the workshop, Ralph and I, even though it has a lot of high and crystalline frequencies. And on some of the recordings, I don't want to have these high crystalline, crystal clear silver sounds, because my voice has a lot of air, and this is the microphone would maybe support too much these frequencies. But it's a good microphone, It's a standard, it's a good microphone, and I was singing through an AKG microphone, which has less, but very, very old microphone from a friend. It was maybe from the 60s. It has less high frequencies, more mid frequencies. I think this is what suits to my voice better when it is a mid frequency microphone. A little bit low. When I say lo-fi is not correct, but a little bit more certain equalizing. It's so hard to explain, but nowadays you can sing through a good microphone, high quality microphone. And if you want to have other frequencies, if you want to have mid frequencies, or you can use all these equalizing things, and you can make it how you want to make. It's always good to sing through a high quality microphone and make the sound maybe more lo-fi instead of singing through a lo-fi microphone, and make it hi-fi. This is not possible, this doesn't sound good. But yeah, I have a Neumann, and I have also a Sennheiser microphone. Don't ask me about the numbers. And I'm using the Sennheiser microphone for my sketches. Yeah. And sometimes also for backing voices.
I must say the Neumann is actually an excellent choice. And just to confirm, it is the Neumann TLM 103. Thank you so much, Clara Hill, for answering my questions. And thank you so much to the hosts of the space. Handing over to Vox.
Thank you to Empower SA. Empower SA is another well-talented producer in the dance music scene, Clara. So
cool.
Don't be shocked one of these days if you get an email from of music from his side too. Where can they send the music to? Yeah, could you what's the email address, please, so that we can share, where people can perhaps share their instrumentals with you, and then you can later on then decide perhaps on working on that or not.
Yes, it's actually pretty easy. This is going over my website. I think it's not on my website anymore, but it's like super easy. It's mail@clarahill.com.
Thank you so much for that. I hope everyone heard that. I hope everyone heard that. Okay, lastly, let's give the mic to Moshiga. Moshiga, please unmute your mic. Welcome to Everything House Music.
Evening, everyone. Quick one, because the time is running out. Clara, I got only 2 questions. First of all, question is, don't answer now. We'll answer when I'm with my mic. Sorry for that. First one question is, are you willing to work with upcoming producers? And second one, are you having a South African citizen? Thank you very much, guys.
If I have a South African citizen, no. I'm located in Berlin. I'm still living there. And what was this? The first question: if there's any album coming up, right? Was this your question?
No, the question you asked was, are you willing to work with upcoming artists?
Sorry, again, I could not hear yourself. I could not hear you good.
The question was, are you willing to work with upcoming artists?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes, of course. I don't know if Taksim is an upcoming artist. I don't know if he's here busy since a while. I don't know if he's new. But if he is, then he's an upcoming artist, Taksim. I would love to work with him. If we speak about the South African area, but if, as I said before, if it's an unknown producer and he has cool stuff, there are so many nice people. They don't have Spotify accounts or they don't have labels, but they have such a big talent. If they have good music, why not? If this instrumental is catching me, or if the music or the language they speak is catching me, I would never say no for collaboration or give my voice on a nice instrumental.
Thank you so much for that. Clara. I think we've had a wonderful 2 hours and almost 20 minutes of your time. I think it's been a wonderful and amazing evening. Thank you so much for joining us. What I normally do is give the mic back to everyone for us for last remarks, but I think everyone has gotten their fair share of thoughts to share with you, flowers to give back to you, questions. I think we've had a wonderful time, absolutely amazing time. I was actually thinking right now that previously on Everything House Music we've had Michi, the vocalist. We've had Sabrina Child, also international vocalist. We've had Ellie Beans, who's also an international vocalist. So we've had a good number of international female vocalists
Pretty cool.
on Everything House Music over the span of the past 2 years and 4 months or so. And you've added to the list. You've added to that list. Yes.
Yeah, very cool. And you know what? You can
added to this
ask me in a
amazing list
few
of
years.
ours. So I would like, I think
Wait,
would like
Vox,
from
Vox,
your end,
Vox.
from your side,
Clara speaking.
just your last remarks for today's space, for our time with you tonight, and also, hey, my daughter. As I was rudely interrupted there, Clara, before you say anything, let me give the mic to Short Chubby Ninja. Short Chubby Ninja.
No, I was saying Gutu Clara was still speaking and you interrupted her.
Oh, okay, yeah. My apologies. My apologies.
I will repeat. I just wanted to say that maybe a few years later, whatever, you can invite all these singers and me included again, and we can speak about what happened in the last years. You know, it doesn't need to be a one time thing. You know, I had also a lot of fun, and I don't give so much interviews. That's why it's also interesting this time for me here as well. So it's also nice. We can speak also another moment again, you know.
Now, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed our time. Thank you so much for joining us and spending this Tuesday evening with us. You are performing in SA. Is this the last weekend? I believe so, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And then you off to Berlin.
Yes. Unfortunately, I would have loved to stay longer for the Deep Soul Sensation thing which is coming on, and Atjazz is coming also to here, so I missed him. So I wrote him already, and we both were like, oh, we miss each other here. So it would have been really, really cool to perform with him behind the desk, you know. But unfortunately, I have to go. Yeah.
I guess we can make it happen another time.
Yes, probably.
Regarding music, can you expect any music in the near future?
With Atjazz specifically, or in general?
No, with you, just with you. Any music that we can expect perhaps in the next near future? Yeah.
Yes. I did collaborations this year. Right now, I do a collaboration with Ralph Gum. There will be also, there will be one single. Maybe there will be another single. Not maybe. I hope so, and I guess so. Definitely there will be a second single, maybe a third single with him too. And I'm also working on another project album. You know me, I do a lot of music, and I do a lot of cross genre collaborations, because I love to sing over so many things. Even though house music is always played a big role in my life, but I'm doing also a beside project which is again a little bit more on the folk side. Maybe it will be a little bit like my last album, Shine, but it's not Clara Hill album. This is a project what I'm doing with another guitar player, and this is right now in the mixing process. And beside of this, I will continue doing house collaborations. Yes.
Thank you so much, Clara. Thank you so much. I mean, any last words? You want to leave us with anything? Maybe do you want to leave us with a short piece of a song that perhaps is coming up that we haven't heard ever? That would be really nice. That would be. Yeah, I'm dreaming right now, but that would be a dream come true.
You mean if I can share some music?
Yes.
No, I don't have anything on my mobile phone here.
Oh, okay, no problem. That's okay. No, that's okay. Thank you. Hey, thank you for your time, and we'll see you. I think some people here in the space perhaps will definitely come to the workshop that's happening this coming weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your evening, please.
Thank you for inviting me. Ciao, ciao.
And you'll stay here in SA, of course.
Sorry?
Now, I was just saying, and you'll stay here in South Africa. Please enjoy the rest of it too, please.
Yes, thank you so much. Peace. Bye-bye.
Bye, Clara.
And that was Clara Hill. Thank you to each and every person that's joined us. Shout out to you for joining Everything House Music on this Tuesday evening. Now, we're gonna close off with Inner Light. Inner Light is a song by Udakapo, and it features our guest this evening. So thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week, Julian Gomez, next week, 22nd, on the Wednesday. Yes, on the Wednesday, not Tuesday, Wednesday. Julian Gomez, Everything House Music. From my side, it's been a pleasure, as always. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
This is Sabrina Child, and you are tuned in to Everything House Music.
Everything house music, everything house music, propelling sounds with meaning, delivering on emotions that lack feeding, intact your souls have no pilling, everything house music.
Hi. Ubongiwe Indlovukazi lo on Everything House Music. Everything House Music.
Cheers, everyone. Good night. Good night. Good night. Keep safe. Cheers. Thank you. Oh, that was good.